played Monopoly with me before, and you know that when I get these properties, I'm looking at you and I'm about to squeeze you for everything you got. I'm about to squeeze you for everything you got. And that's what's going on right now with Terrence Crawford. You want to come over here? Yeah, I kind of need you. We kind of need to make a trade, but who needs who more? And until you recognize that you need me more and you're willing to do whatever it takes to get over here and get these fights, then it's not going to happen. And I think that that's what's happening right now. And I'm not saying that AH is actually squeezing him and making it so that he feels vulnerable and has to come over, but he's like, hey, listen, I got a room full of buddies. You know what I mean? I don't need any more buddies. I wouldn't mind that buddy, but I don't need any more. And so because I don't need any more, I'm gonna continue to move the way we move and get down the way we get down. It's still big fights to be had right here. And if you're not willing to get down with us, I'm not gonna come looking for you. I'll wait for you to come looking for me. You've played Monopoly with me before, and you know that when I get these properties, I'm looking at you and I'm about to squeeze you for everything you got. I'm about to squeeze you for everything you got. And that's what's going on right now with Terrence Crawford. You want to come over here? Yeah, I kind of need you. We kind of need to make a trade, but who needs who more? And until you recognize that you need me more and you're willing to do whatever it takes to get over here and get these fights, then it's not going to happen. And I think that that's what's happening right now. And I'm not saying that AH is actually squeezing him and making it so that he feels vulnerable and has to come over, but he's like, hey, listen, I got a room full of buddies. You know what I mean? I don't need any more buddies. I wouldn't mind that buddy, but I don't need any more. And so because I don't need any more, I'm gonna continue to move the way we move and get down the way we get down. It's still big fights to be had right here. And if you're not willing to get down with us, I'm not gonna come looking for you. I'll wait for you to come looking for me.
The Vampire Stream. The Vampire Stream. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with the Vampire Stream. The Vampire Stream. Yeah, we in the building. What's up? Adrian says, champ, will there be a Joshua Pulev Boxing Eagle watch party? I'll do whatever the fans want. If y'all want, y'all got to vote for which one. Like me, obviously, I'm going for the big fights. So the big fights, we definitely going to do them. I don't know which. Listen, BWPs, obviously, I'm going to do the big fights like Errol Spence, Gervonta, those fights. I did one for Crawford, Brook. But other fights, put in a request. Let me know which ones y'all want me to cover. But we just got to make it make sense, like all my streams. I'm telling you, this streaming is a different beast. I'm not pandering or whatever. I'm just telling y'all what it is. As a content creator, it takes a lot out of you. You got to stay glued to a seat. Like, I ain't no gamer. So I don't just sit around doing anything for 2 and 3 hours at a time. I got it. I'm an Aries, so I got a lot of energy. So I'm always moving. So these streams, if y'all like these, y'all got to indicate that, and we got to make it make sense. Otherwise, I can't do these streams so long. And Boxing Eagle watch parties be some of the longer streams. So I could do Joshua Pulev if the fans want it and it's worth it. But if it ain't worth it, then it ain't perfect. Then I can't, do it. What's up? The Vampire Stream. The Vampire Stream. Oh, New York up here late. Yeah, life is good, man. We just working. I told you I was going to bust my ass on the channel, close the year strong. The numbers are phenomenal. The support's been phenomenal. I'm ready. We here to talk. These are the moments that I was built for. I'm ready for any of these moments. My whole life's work. Hungry, why wait? Grab a Snickers. No, man, YouTube is sabotaging. Listen, my Easy Work Wednesdays, we was cooking. And since it's longer form content, YouTube be trying to not send y'all notifications. Who got a notification for Easy Work Wednesday this week? Emperor Niter. He said no Boxing Eagle watch party for Tyson Fury due to the blackout. Man, he ain't even fighting. Okay, Niter got one. Anybody else get a notification for Easy Work Wednesday? We had a great conversation and a great panel. So I really need y'all to head over to those videos. They're longer. That's because you have multiple people on the panel. It's like the Brady Bunch. Your boy Ego got all these squares full of people. So, it takes longer to consume. But just watch it in chunks. Watch it on your run or driving. We was really talking about it. We were talking about Errol Spence, Terrence Crawford. Yeah, man, YouTube, they be hating sometimes. My number's impeccable. My number's been crazy all month. And then the last few months. And then randomly YouTube will just stop sending notifications out. But we working. The Vampire Stream. What y'all want to talk about? Errol, Danny, Errol Pacquiao, Crawford. What's good? It's a Vampire Stream. We chilling. I sent a message to the members, Ebon. I sent a notification through YouTube. Hopefully the members are getting them. I mean, some of them are getting them because they're obviously they're clicking on the link. I just send the link out. I haven't been doing it through email. Let's talk about Porter's BS. What's Porter's BS? This man is a rat. What's BS about Porter? He a rat, yo. Y'all smell that? I smell a rat. He says Sean Porter's on some BS. What is that? Please enlighten us. Oh, he wasting time. That's all you got? I thought you were gonna come with something like try to be funny or something. That's it? This is boxing's finest? That's it? Yeah. I'm glad you brought that up. Crawford Porter's a great fight. Let's get it. Let's see it. I don't care if you have a belt or not. Every time they hate, the fans donate. Shout out to Jay Brown, 25. Let's get it. My man Jay Brown. Hate on that. They playing games. We getting this money. We talking boxing. Okay. Bud tweeted out that he's going back down to 135. I think he's joking. What do y'all think? Yeah, I think he was joking, but I mean, it really wasn't funny to me. But man, Porter gives anybody a problem. Yeah, Errol might have stopped Danny without a layoff, for sure. You damn near almost stopped him here. With the layoff. Errol's a bad man, man. Nighter getting in your ass. Block boxing's finest. That's just block him. We got to make an example of one of y'all. Bang. We gonna use you. I was waiting for him to say something cool. Block boxing's finest. Bro, Crawford's team is all over the place. Love Crawford the fighter. But you and your team are all over the place. Bro, Crawford's team is all over the place. I can give you several different examples of this. Somebody please test me. Say what, Ego? How are they not all on the same page, Ego? So many different loopholes and holes you could poke at the arguments they're making that they've said. I'm just talking about this whole year. Please test me. Please test my boxing knowledge. Okay, my man Juan said, what, Ego? Okay, for starters, Terrence Crawford says, I don't need Errol Spence, but showed up to his fight. Who does that? Who says, I'm the A side, nobody's getting 60-40 unless it's me because I'm the A side, even though I have a lesser resume, especially in the division we would fight, and my pay-per-views have flopped and went double wood, and this guy's pay-per-views have done better. I don't need Errol Spence, but I'm going to show up at his fight because it's much bigger than my fights. I mean, come on, bro. If you piece together all the statements that they've made in the last year, it sounds bad. It sounds bad because there's no uniformity to what they're saying. I don't need this man. He needs me. That's Crawford's words. I don't need Errol Spence. I'm the A side. He said it. Bomac has said it. I don't need him. He needs me. He needs me for his legacy. I don't need him for my legacy. But you show up to his fight. And then the people in Dallas were yelling at you or whatever that was. You know what I'm saying? I thought you didn't need him, bro. Like, what part? Okay. If you met a chick and she says, I don't eat meat. I'm a vegan. I haven't eaten meat in 10 years. You know, I stopped eating it and it's disgusting. And then you go to her Instagram story and she's tearing up some fucking pork ribs. You'd be like, what the fuck? That's Crawford's team. That's Crawford's team right now with these contradictions. I'm a devout vegan and eating meat disgusts me. And you see some chick and the chick is all on the gram on her story eating the fuck out of some pork and beef ribs and god damn, this good. Y'all got some napkin? What? Just listen. That wouldn't be weird to you. Now, to each his own. You could eat meat if you want or if you didn't. It's the fact that you said you don't eat meat, and you know, especially if you antagonize others who do eat meat, and then you're caught eating meat. I mean, it's just it's a bad look, bro. It's a contradiction. She eating a fucking ribeye steak, but she said she was vegan. What part of veganism is this? Especially after she lectured you on eating animal products and meat. You'd be like, what? What? That's Crawford. I don't need him. He need me, but I show up at his fight. He didn't go to your fight, and then he tried to shame you post-fight. When somebody from the media asked him a question about Crawford, he said, I don't know, why was he even here? He got to live by his words. He said he got to stay true to his words. I probably wouldn't go to none of his fights. That's what he said, right? They got vegan barbecue. I didn't say vegan barbecue. I said pork or beef. I didn't say vegan version of some barbecue. I said pork or beef, meaning animal product. Listen, if y'all want to outwit me, listen. And when I fuck up, then tell me. I didn't fuck up. I literally said pork or beef. Vegan barbecue, that's some old bullshit other shit. That's not animal product. That's their version of barbecue. I said pork or beef. Henceforth, she's eating meat. Listen, I don't care if I'm wrong. But if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. You're gonna have to prove that. If I make a statement that, you know, nobody understands or don't make sense, correct me by all means. But you're gonna have to work for that. You're gonna have to work for that. My man Jay Brown said it seems like Bud is a liar. He said he's always changing his story like Trump. Wow. That man said like Trump. Like Don. Block Captain MP. Yeah, you up out of here. Man, we getting the lunatics that the freaks come out at night. The freak come out at night. We getting all the weirdos. This man's name is Captain MP, and he says Pacquiao will kill Spence. So I'm assuming the MP is Manny Pacquiao. Get him out of here. He probably got the bangs like Pacquiao when he first came out. This man is a stand. You don't even know what you talk. You just saying shit. Block him. We're going to block all y'all. It's cool. Bro, the man Crawford's story is... Listen. There's people from Crawford's team that follow me on different platforms, and not anybody has reached out, hit me in the DM, or responded to my videos that get sent to Twitter or whatever and said, hey, what you said in your video doesn't make sense. Now, that's pretty telling because listen, I don't get on here. I don't just get on here to talk. I don't get on here to talk. I'm not getting on here looking to shame people. I respect these guys. They lace them up, but I also respect the integrity of boxing. Crawford's team continues to push a narrative and an agenda and a message that I just don't see as being true with a lot of things being said. It's that simple. You know what I mean? And yet and still, nobody's disproving what I'm saying. Nobody's saying, hey, Ray Robinson, he didn't really beat Mean Machine. I watched that fight. You're a liar. Because if you go back and watch the fight or go look in the comments, you'll see a lot of people thought Mean Machine. I watched the fight. People were saying it was a robbery. And that was who Mean Machine fought as a mandatory, or to become mandatory for Crawford right before the Crawford fight. Floyd Mayweather has fought some of his best wins, and the opponent was coming off a great win or a best win. You see what I'm saying? Prada Pierre, I'm going to get to you in 1 second. Let's check this out. All this propaganda, that shit is over, bro. That old media tactics and, trying to, like, this is what old media does. They got a couple writers in pocket and they start putting out little stories and narratives and stuff, hoping they catch. But the problem is 2020 and digital mob is here. You see what I'm saying? And Ego's army. So everything is remembered. We remember everything that's been put out, and those stories don't stick anymore because we know they're untrue. They're smear campaigns and stuff like that. It's that simple. The money keep coming in. My man Prada Pierre in the Cash App, which is on the screen, $ Boxing Ego. Listen, in the morning, in the afternoon, or at night, them Cash Apps are coming through, and everything's all right. Prada Pierre, he said, Ego, you the best. Doo, 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 doo. Shout out to my man Prada. Always supporting the channel. Appreciate you. The bottom line is those little smear campaign stories and stuff. People are empowered. People read. People watch videos. People remember what you said. Yeah, let's definitely get the likes up. Let's get the likes up. I know it's a vampire stream, so I don't know how many people are even up, but fuck it. Shout out to Nider. That's what I'm talking about. Floyd fought Mosley after he stopped Margarito, who was trying to cheat. Rest in peace, brother Nassim Richardson. Crawford fought Kell Brook after questionable performances. Crawford also fought Mean Machine after a questionable performance with Ray Robinson. They scored it a draw. Watch the fight. He really should have lost that fight if you score it from start to finish. Listen, that's why it looks so bad for Crawford's team to be questioning and picking out who each person fought at the welterweight division. You know what I'm saying? Because if we're doing that, like, bro, I mean, Crawford is showing an intense bias because, like, if we're going to just scrutinize everyone's resume, we got to look at yours, look at his stable. There's people in your gym, and if we're going resume for resume, do they have a better resume than Danny Garcia? Do you see what I'm saying? Like, he never talks down to Shakur, Jamel Herring, Steve Nelson, the stuff. That's his boys. Maurice Hooker. But Danny Garcia, per division, has one of the best divisional in this length of time resumes. Same thing with Sean Porter. So how are you going to question everybody else's resume, but not your stablemate's resume or your own resume? You don't say that. You know what I'm saying? So it's clearly an issue of being biased. I'm not, like me, I'm not being biased. I'm being fair and objective. You can't look intently at Danny's resume and Sean Porter, and then the Crawford is using the straw man arguments. He's saying Danny stepped up and he lost all them fights at 147. Okay, but you want the same credit as Danny. You have to understand how boxing works. Even though you lost the fight, you're still getting credit because of who you lose to. You see what I'm saying? Like, who you win against, or who you lose to, that actually matters. Like, how are we gonna act like every opponent is the same? It's not realistic. So Terrence Crawford's argument is, man, Danny Garcia, he's 0-3 for title shots at welterweight. And me, considering Terrence Crawford, I beat who I had to beat. I beat who they put in front of me. I beat my guys. Yeah, you did do that. And you look good in doing that. But you're not fighting who Danny Garcia was fighting. You know what I'm saying? Listen, explain how you want me to ridicule Danny Garcia for being 0-3 against names that are all great fighters who are still relevant. Keith Thurman, Errol Spence, and Sean Porter. And he barely lost 2 of those fights out of the 3. But you have no names on your current resume, probably entirely, but we'll say at least at welterweight, that can rival any of those guys. So, yeah, you got through everybody you needed to, but if Danny Garcia fought those same people, then he might not be 0-3. You dig what I'm saying? Like, if Danny Garcia fought Jeff Horn, is he going to lose that fight? If he fought him at the same time Crawford fought, Danny has been relevant for a minute. Danny didn't get knocked out by Errol Spence, Sean Porter, Keith Thurman. You think Jeff Horn was going to knock him out? Stylistically, that's the style. Jose Benavidez got shot in the leg. His mobility suffered in the second half of the fight. You think he's going to beat Danny Garcia in that condition? Right? Mean Machine. You think Mean Machine's going to plow through Danny Garcia? But he's struggling with Ray Robinson and he got knocked out by Crawford? You think he has what it takes to beat Mean Machine? Mean Machine has what it takes to beat Danny? Amir Khan, what about that? Danny already beat him. You see what I'm saying? So Terrence Crawford, a lot of his logic is strawman arguments, what he's talking about this stuff, because life, like, everything revolves around context. You know what I mean? Let's get the lights up. Everything revolves around context. Like, have you ever seen one of those mashup videos where they'll take Kevin Hart, right? They'll take Kevin Hart in various interviews and splice it together, and it'll sound like he said something he didn't really say. Or it could be one interview and they chop pieces from this one David Letterman interview and they string it together to make it look like he said different things. You guys have all seen that tactic, right? Have you guys seen that tactic where they'll take an interview and then chop it up to make it look like you said this, but there's no context behind it. They didn't let the whole thing play out. In boxing, you see it with fighter highlights. Remember, Conor McGregor fought and sparred with Chris Van Heerden, and then Conor McGregor and his team recorded the whole thing, or whoever recorded it. Conor took pieces out of it, the best shots he landed when he was trying to show people that he was getting into boxing, and Conor McGregor, I don't know, he's tanking. Fuck the mate. Conor McGregor's right. He took pieces of this whole sparring session. He didn't just let the shit run. He took pieces of it where he was getting off cool shots on Chris Van Heerden, who's about to fight Jaron Boots Ennis. Chris Van Heerden was like, oh, you doing me greasy, because people in boxing seen that one highlight tape and they're like, oh, Conor McGregor's a real boxer. He was fucking up Chris Van Heerden. Because if you watch it, it just looked like it was one-way traffic. And then Paulie Malignaggi did that same way. Exactly. But Chris Van Herding, we're going to stick with him real quick. He posted up the whole sparring. And if you watch the whole sparring, it didn't look like just that highlight that Conor McGregor's team put out to make him look good. And he did it to Paulie Malignaggi too, posting like little pictures of Paulie on the ground. And then everyone looks at it like, oh shit, he dropped Paulie. You know, he knocked Paulie out. But we don't really know because they just showing certain sequences and 2-second shots, right? So the point I'm making is everything revolves around context. I need to see the whole sparring session to see what happened. You can't just post little quick moments and then I'm just going to say, oh, Conor mopped the floor with these guys. Because in context, the Chris Van Herding sparring looked regular, but that highlight shit had him looking like he was, you know, Pernell Whitaker or something. So context is everything, people. Crawford said, oh, I beat all the guys in front of me. True indeed. But who were they? Like, who were they? What performances were they coming off of? How much experience did they have at your level? See, listen, here's an example. I'm about to cook y'all again, bro. I'm about to cook y'all again. I'm about to cook y'all again. Watch this. Listen how I put this down. Listen how I oh my gosh. Listen how, man, listen how I spit this game and kick the science, the sweet science, with no delay. Watch. My man Jay Brown told me, he sent me the signal, and he sent another $25 super chat. Watch this. Name somebody that Crawford has ever fought in all divisions, since we want to play this game with no context, and y'all think I'm wrong and I'm hating, didn't answer this question. I told you, in the game of credibility, we gonna see. It's either them or me. If people say what I'm saying don't make sense, we gonna test everybody's credibility to see what really makes sense. Now listen how I put this. Watch this. Name somebody that Crawford has ever fought. Ever fought. So any division, I'll leave it open like that. That had equal amateur, pro, and big fight experience or greater than he. You guys get the question? Name somebody that Terrence Crawford, this is important. Name somebody that Terrence Crawford has ever fought that had equal or greater big fight experience. Like amateurs, they had an amateur decorated career, pro career that was decorated. They had big fights as a pro. Get it? I'm just giving you some examples. Name somebody that Terrence Crawford has ever fought. He's fought some solid guys, but name somebody that had the equivalent or greater big fight experience. That's an honest question. And everybody's saying nobody. For example, let me give you some other legendary fighters. Shane Mosley, my guy. There was a point in time where Shane Mosley moved up, had a couple welterweight fights, and fought Oscar De La Hoya. At the point he fought Oscar De La Hoya, Oscar had already fought big names like Arturo Gatti, right? Oscar was already the golden boy. So Oscar already had big fight experience, Pernell Whitaker fights and stuff like that, right? Hold on. I'm about to cook this man. Hold on. I'm saying at the time they fought, they had big fight experience. Okay. So Mayweather, when he fought De La Hoya was the man, had hella fights. He had hella fights. Pacquiao, when he fought De La Hoya, Pacquiao De La Hoya had crazy names on his resume by the time he fought Pacquiao. The reason I know, because De La Hoya's last fight was Pacquiao. So De La Hoya had fought everybody in the world that he ever fought. Felix Tito Trinidad, Bernard Hopkins, Mayweather, Shane Mosley twice, Felix Sturm. Pacquiao was his very last fight. So by the time Pacquiao got him, Pacquiao kind of retired him or whatever. So that means everybody that we know, the Hector Camacho, Arturo Gatti, Julio Cesar Chavez twice, right? These were already completed fights by Oscar De La Hoya. Fernando Vargas, Ricardo Mayorga, et cetera, et cetera. So when Mayweather fought, or when Pacquiao fought, De La Hoya had big fights, big fight experience. De La Hoya had already fought Julio Cesar Chavez twice. You see what I'm saying? So at the time, for the people who know boxing, at the time, he fought a known golden boy and somebody who was popular. That's really how De La Hoya became the golden boy, by beating the Mexican legend, boxeo legend, Grand Campeon. That's how it happened. So by the time he's fighting, again, the Mayweathers, and then later Pacquiao, he had already fought everybody, including Mayweather, B-Hop. So when we're looking at Crawford, somebody said Gamboa. I mean, who did Gamboa fought that was a big fight experience? Like, I'm talking about big, like Gamboa fought Crawford in Omaha. His best win, what was it, Salido? Maybe Salido fight. What was Gamboa's best win? Michael Farinas. Who was his best win? I know my boxing. Let's go. Who was Gamboa's big win? Was Orlando Salido, was that even a main event? I don't remember. That's a real question. Even if you go with the Gamboa, that's 2014. This is 6 years ago. So who else? Who else? Name someone that you talking about a fight from 2014, 6 years ago. Even again, I don't even know what Gamboa fight you were saying is the big. Like I said, the biggest Gamboa, they called him Baby Mike Tyson and stuff, and he was whooping guys. But what was his big fight? What was his big fight? Darlis Perez? Like who? He fought some cool guys, but who was the big fight? Salido, I guess that's the biggest one. So who else y'all got? Someone that Crawford fought, they had equivalent experience and big fight experience. My man said you got a point. Absolutely. But like I said, when Pacquiao fought De La Hoya, he had fought everybody. He had fought Felix Tito Trinidad, Fernando Vargas, Ricardo Mayorga, Julio Cesar Chavez twice, Shane Mosley twice. Hector Macho Camacho, who they just did a documentary about, Arturo Gatti, Felix Sturm, Pernell Whitaker, Ike Corte, Ponce de Leon. He was a good fighter, but is that, what I'm saying? Is that was that a huge fight? Was that even a main event fight? Do you see what I'm saying? Like, there's a difference between being good fights. Like Broner fought Daniel Ponce de Leon. I'm talking about like big fight experience. Like, okay, Canelo. Right now, Canelo has big fight experience. So if you fight Canelo, you're fighting a man who has had and headlined big events. Right? Caleb Smith is fighting a guy who has experience, been fighting since he was 15. Okay. That's part A of the question, and y'all already struggling. Then when you look at it, the people you say that were big fight experience for Crawford, were they in their prime? Check yes or no. Were they in their prime, or like off of, not just prime, but they were off of momentous occasions or momentous performances? You see what I'm saying? Like, so even if you didn't say they were like absolute prime, because prime is subjective. Somebody could lose and then people say, oh, he's not in his prime. But at least being off of performances that everybody can respect. Like, for example, Lomachenko just fought Teofimo. Teofimo was off Richard Comey performance. So that was a great performance for Teofimo's individual career, which helped boost Lomachenko and Teo fight. Because people are like, okay, I like Lomachenko, he's good. And then Teo showed he's good by becoming a champion and looking great versus Richard Comey, stopping him, I think, in 2 rounds on the Crawford Mean Machine card. You see what I'm saying? But then when we're looking at Crawford, if we're being honest, the problem with his whole career is the bigger names have eluded him. And then even if he did get a bigger name, it was the bigger name when people said that they thought they were kind of past it. Like Amir Khan is a name. He has big fight experience, but he was also 2 fights removed and really hadn't done nothing and got slept by Canelo. And Danny already slept him. And Bradis Prescott already slept him. And we've seen him hurt a gang of times. You see what I'm saying? Okay, the amount of times we've seen, here, I could put this all in perspective. Y'all can't win this. Y'all can't win because there's no debating facts. For example, when Mayweather fought Ricky Hatton, was he in the same position in his career when Mayweather fought Hatton that you believe Amir Khan was in? So do you think Ricky Hatton was at the end of his rope like Amir Khan? Bro, Amir Khan got torched by Canelo. So if you disagree with what I'm saying, you're a liar or you don't know anything about boxing. Amir Khan was coming off of he fought Canelo, took about a year plus off. Then he came back, fought Phil LaGreco after Errol Spence had already knocked out Phil LaGreco, and he was a YouTube chef. Khan knocked him out in 40 seconds, but he was actually retired. So I don't really count that as a great win. You know what I mean? And then Amir Khan fought Samuel Vargas, went life and death, and his very next fight was Terrence Crawford. Amir Khan got dropped by Samuel Vargas and badly hurt. Go watch the fight. I watch all these fights. I don't watch every single fight, but I watched that one. That was on DAZN. That was when DAZN first came out. Bro, Hatton was undefeated, and Hatton had a chin. Mayweather hit him with that check left hook. Good night, Irene. So Crawford's wondering why he's not getting the same credit because people aren't doing that. Cotto, when Mayweather fought Cotto, he had just beaten the guy who probably cheated him in the first fight, Antonio DeMarco. And Pacquiao started off busting up Margarito's eye, and then Cotto fought him again the second time after that, and Cotto fucked up his eye even more. You know what I mean? And the doctor had to stop it, and then his next fight was Mayweather. When Mayweather fought Shane Mosley, he had just crushed Margarito by violent stoppage. And I was like, Shane Mosley looked crazy good, and he even hurt Mayweather. But we haven't seen this stuff with Bud Crawford. We haven't seen this with Crawford based on whatever. So that's why when you hear Crawford talk, he's like, yeah, I beat the guys I had to beat. Nobody's doubting that. You're undefeated. We know you beat the guys you had to beat. It's really about the fights that have been privy to you in the divisions you were in. Like, it sucks, but you were in 135 and 140, and you were super good, and no one else was even, you didn't have a contemporary. You know what I mean? Like, Superman is great, but he even has, like, other aliens to battle, like General Zod. And they coming from Krypton and shit. You know what I'm saying? Lex Luthor, who finds like ways and has money and resource. You see what I'm saying? Like, even the best superheroes need an arch nemesis or villain. Crawford hasn't really had that for his career. He hasn't really had somebody that people feel are even on his level when the fight's announced. Spence, he flew through a car. People were saying his speech was bad and he was slurring his words and he wasn't the same. So people were also saying Danny Garcia would win. I know he's from Philly, but Gilly the Kid put 20 racks on Danny Garcia. People really thought Danny Garcia, especially with the accident, could beat Errol Spence. And he dominated. I told you Sean Porter was going to give Errol Spence a run for his money in a tough-ass fight. All that came true, and Errol Spence pulled through in that fight. The knockdown, bow, perfect timing, stuff like that. Terrence Crawford blowing everybody out. But you have to attribute some of that to the competition level. Here's an example. I'm about to cook y'all. This is easy. Name somebody that Terrence Crawford has ever beat that you think would have beat Errol Spence. That even had a chance to beat Errol Spence. Let me put it like that. So from 135, 140 to 147, you think they could move up from 135 to 47, 140 to 147, or any of the guys at 147? Name one person that you believe could beat Errol Spence that Terrence Crawford has ever fought. Shout out to Natty Cutie. No, there is no one. My man Tao, K Smooth. Everybody saying nobody. Somebody said Hammer and Hank Lundy. Stop. He lost to Delorme. Stop. He tough though, but I mean I don't. Come on. I like Lundy though, but I wouldn't pick him to beat Errol at 147. Stop. He had a close fight with Delorme and John Molina and all that. Stop. Can y'all please get rid of Mr. Pacquiao, Captain MP or whatever? No one. Boxing Ego is the GOAT. I'm asking serious, real questions. Name somebody that Crawford has ever fought that you think is fucking with Errol Spence. Thank you, Hamza. Name anybody. John Molina. He'll beat Errol Spence. He just lost to Jose Cito Lopez by stoppage. He'll beat Errol Spence. He got cooked and I know John Molina. That's the dude. That's the homie. But he got cooked by Antonio DeMarco in one round. You think he'll beat him? So Hank Lundy, no. John Molina, no. And he fought at 147. John Molina. Jeff Horn, hell no, bro. He didn't even beat Pacquiao. A southpaw, a small southpaw. You think Jeff Horn at that point in time would have fucked with Errol Spence? He was like 16-0. And we seen him, he just lost to Tim Tszyu. Tim Tszyu ain't even got power like Errol. I know they're at a heavier weight, but he just lost to Tim Tszyu and Zarafa. Come on, bro. Benavidez, after he got shot in the leg, beat Errol Spence. That's what you think? Mean Machine, he fucking with Errol? You see what I'm saying? Amir Khan, bro, please don't tell me Amir Khan. Do you really think Amir Khan, after 2 fights after getting cooked by Canelo, beats Errol Spence at that point? That version of Khan? Just be real, bro. I'm asking real questions, real boxing. This ain't no disrespect. I'm asking real questions. Because from my boxing perspective or point of view, I don't see none of them dudes touching Errol. The man just beat Danny Garcia post-accident. So you mean to tell me before he got in the accident, Amir Khan was going to beat him? After Canelo had brutally knocked him out? Come on, bro. I don't even think Amir Khan... Okay. Let me ask y'all the question. Canelo cooked Amir Khan's jaw. We all watched that. This man, Canelo, said, I was born, and just leaned him. Amir Khan jumped in. Ishi. Canelo said, I was born. Bang. And just leaned Khan. He just leaned him bad. His eyes were open. He was, right? Amir Khan, Ishi. Canelo, I was, and just leaned his shit, right? 2 fights later, if he fought Danny Garcia at 147, a guy who's already knocked him out, who would you favor? So this would have been before the Errol Spence. At the time Crawford fought Danny Garcia wouldn't have lost to Errol Spence just last week. Who would have won at that point? 2 fights, Philip LaGreco and a Samuel Vargas fight where Amir Khan struggled and got knocked down. Who would have won at that fight? Because Danny already held a win over Amir Khan. So who do you think would have won at that point in 2019? Danny Garcia or Amir Khan? In 2019, if Danny Garcia, who's already beaten Amir Khan, fought Amir Khan after he beat him and after he struggled with Samuel Vargas and after Canelo decimated his chin, who would have won? I'm asking real questions. Thank you, Nider. He said Danny would have slept him again. What are we talking about then? Amir Khan would have beaten Danny. Why? Based on what? He just struggled with Samuel Vargas. Oh, he said, nah, I'm playing. Block him. Yeah, I'm playing too. Block him. Bro, I'm not playing. I'm asking real questions. You're wasting my time. Now you got to go. I ain't playing no games. He said Khan get knocked out shaving. Hey, yo, bro, come on. Okay, now let's keep cooking. In 2019, if Amir Khan fought Sean Porter, so this would have been Crawford fought Crawford fought Khan before Sean Porter fought Errol. So instead of Ugas, around that same time, let's say Sean didn't fight Ugas or Errol Spence or Formella, and in early 2000, when Crawford was fighting Khan, who would win? In your honest opinion? I know this is all hypothetical because this is what we're left to do. If Sean Porter fought Amir Khan before Errol Spence and Ugas and Formella in early 2019, who would have won? Porter or Amir Khan after the Canelo knockout in early 2019? Shout out to G Mills. I agree with you. Porter he stopped Berto. He has a suffocating style. He gave Errol Spence all he can handle. I think that would probably be worse than the Danny stylistically. Yeah, I don't know because Danny got heavy hands, but Porter would be a nasty style for Amir Khan because he's active. He has a chin. He throws a lot of punches. He can box. He has a jab, and he stays in your chest. Amir Khan don't have the defense set up to beat Porter, especially after losing to Canelo. That ain't no Devin Alexander or something where, you know what I'm saying? Porter is just, he's too mean. Exactly. Everyone's saying Porter. So these are the names that Crawford was put in with. But he wants the maximum credit. Listen, we'll give you credit for beating him, but we got to put it in context, like I'm saying. Bro. Okay, Keith Thurman. We'll do one more. So, I don't know if you see what I just did. Errol Spence beat Porter. Errol Spence beat Danny. I don't think Khan, who was Crawford's pay-per-view, can beat guys that Errol beat. He already lost to Danny anyway, so it would just be a rematch. So, in my opinion, guys that Errol Spence has beaten clean, like Danny and Sean Porter, Khan at that point couldn't fuck with either one of them. And Errol ran through Lamont Peterson, who also has a win over Khan, even though it was at 140. It's not looking good. At the point in which Crawford fought Khan, it was a desolate fight. You know, nobody... Crawford, man. See, now y'all fucking with a real one. Crawford literally said everyone knew I was going to, quote, whitewash Khan. That's what he said. And that's who your company put on pay-per-view for you. One more. In 2019, instead of fighting Manny Pacquiao, if Keith Thurman fought Amir Khan, who wins? My man said, bro, listen, Thurman and Porter will wash Khan. This shouldn't even be a debate. It's not. It's not. because we all know what would happen or who we would bet our money on. If Keith Thurman didn't fight Pacquiao, because that was around the time where Khan fought Crawford, would you favor Keith Thurman or Amir Khan? Would you favor Amir Khan to beat Keith Thurman or other way around? Somebody said Ocampo would have beat Khan. Wow. He might. He a big dude. He might. Damn, he keeps saying Khan would have lost to Ocampo. It's possible, for sure. Ocampo wasn't that bad, bro. He caught Errol with a body shot, and he big. Look, everybody is saying Keith. So a guy that avoided Errol Spence, Keith Thurman, guys that Errol Spence has beaten, Danny and Sean Porter, clean, and a guy Lamont Peterson that Errol Spence also beat first try. Khan lost to him. Khan lost to Danny. It's not just about triangle theories, but you have to admit that Errol is looking like the top of the totem pole at welterweight division. He's fought the better names. He didn't struggle. Bro, Errol Spence didn't struggle with Lamont Peterson. Amir Khan did. And that's Crawford's one of his better, bigger names or whatever. It doesn't even compare, people. So like I said, I don't think at welterweight, especially, anybody that Crawford beat would beat or lose. Like, none of the guys that Crawford fought at welterweight would beat those other guys with PBC, especially Errol Spence. So we would have similar performances from Errol Spence. Bro, Errol Spence is nearly stopping high caliber guys like Danny Garcia, Sean Porter, and Mikey Garcia. Now, I say nearly because he didn't get the stoppage, but he hurt all of them. He had their face all marked up. So if you put in a broken Khan, a broken Kell Brook, he already beat Kell Brook. What was Kell Brook going to do to him 4 weeks ago? If he just did, bro, I told y'all can't win. Okay, so let me just tell you like this, as a real boxing fan. If Errol Spence got Danny Garcia's face looking like this, Kell Brook would be in bad trouble. Look at this man's eye. You see what I'm saying? Like, my honest assessment, if a guy who's never been made to look like that, his eye is looking like that, and Errol already beat Kell Brook, so you have to just factor this all in. Errol beat Kell Brook 3 years ago. If they would have fought 3 weeks ago, so Errol post-car wreck did that to Danny, it would be bad for Kell Brook. He might be blind. I'm not lying, bro. And I'm not being funny, and I'm not like laughing and condoning. Like, I don't want to see fighters go blind, but bro, this is Danny's face, bro. And he's not known for like Gabe Rosado scar tissue or nothing. And this is how Danny is looking, bro. You guys see that? So somebody who's not known for a bunch of cuts and like bruising or soft tissue is looking crazy post-accident, Errol. Can you imagine if bro, Kell Brook was outboxing Crawford? Do you understand what? Listen, let's talk real boxing. View from the Bay, I hate you so bad. He said Jake Paul would run through Khan. He probably would, though, to be honest. That's hilarious. No, I'm talking real boxing. Ego, no point in proving this point. Khan struggled with Greco. Ocampo would have dusted Khan. Ocampo, yeah, y'all keep saying that, but Ocampo was big. I was at that fight. Y'all doing hella much. Someone said Nate Robinson would beat Khan. Listen, I'm just talking regular boxing shit. Smash the like button. regular boxing shit. Kell Brook was beating on my scorecard. I don't know how y'all had it. He was beating Terrence Crawford 2 rounds to 1. I gave Terrence Crawford the 3rd round. Then the 4th round opened up, and then Crawford caught him with that shot. Boom, fight over. But I had Kell Brook winning the first 2 rounds. Did you see how fast Errol Spence came out on Danny Garcia in the first 4 rounds? So if Kell Brook was looking like however he looked, even though I gave him the first 2 rounds, Errol Spence would have walked, bro, it would have been ugly, because that's the point of where Kell Brook was. It would have been ugly. Danny was landing good body shots and still fresh and dangerous, and by the fight's end, this is how the man is looking. There's levels to this, bro. Look at this man's face. By the end of 12 rounds, this is how his eyes looking. Can you imagine Kell Brook, who has had surgery on both of his eyes, if he would have fought this focused Errol Spence Jr.? It wouldn't have looked nothing like the first fight, in my honest opinion. Danny's face don't be breaking up like this, and Danny looked crazy at the end of this fight. I wish he took a picture like at home on Sunday so we could see how it looks. So not only do I think Kell Brook would get cooked, he'll probably get cooked worse than what Crawford did, because Errol Spence is mean as fuck. And he's a southpaw, natural southpaw. You got to compare this pick and Triple G after the Canelo fight. Oh, yeah, they both. Bro, Danny's face was a mess. Kell Brook's face would not hold up. He looked like that against Peterson. Nah, I got the he did it. His face was marked up, but it wasn't that bad, bro. I got Peterson pictures. But that's also another fight people thought that Peterson could have won. No, I could pull up Peter. Listen, we could pull it up. His face, trust me. Danny, I have pictures on my computer. I could find it. His face was not marked up like that. It had marks. Trust me, I remember. I remember because I know there's one picture if I see it again. Yeah, so he got marks. He got marks after. What y'all think? This is Lamont Peterson fight. I pulled it up for y'all. It's a great thing about having this fast ass computer. This is the look. That's the fight. Danny Garcia, Lamont. This is Danny Garcia versus Errol. Like, to me, like right here, the reason why it looks worse because it looks like his shit is on the verge of being broken. You see what I'm saying? Like, his shit looks swollen. Like, Danny's face versus Peterson looks marked up. You guys dig what I'm saying? I don't know. I'm trying to get a split screen, but I don't know. I can't really do that. That's like his face just looks tattered here. It looks like his shit, his orbital is finna break versus Errol. You see what I'm saying? I don't know if y'all get that, but you know, shout out to Lamont Peterson. Shout out to D Nice. He said he watched Easy Work Wednesday. Make sure you guys check that out. Easy Work Wednesday. I did with the panel. Man, we was cooking. It was fire. I really enjoy that. We coming out with the heat. They want to be just like us. Yeah, bro. I think it's a little bit different. I think Errol looks like his shit was finna break. Like he was gonna break Danny's face. I almost thought Danny was gonna get stopped in the Lamont Peterson fight, but it don't matter what any of us say. Danny told you that he been in there with Porter, Thurman, and Errol, and he said he's the strongest out of all of them. So the Lamont Peterson, he did a good a job in the second half, but Danny got his ass whooped the whole fight. I gave Danny more rounds in the Peterson fight than this, to be honest. That's just my opinion. But all I know is I wouldn't pick no Amir Khan. I wouldn't pick no Amir Khan to beat no Errol at this point. I mean, Amir Khan to beat no... I think I said it right. I don't think Amir Khan, that Canelo fight took a lot out of him. You see what I'm saying? Give me 1 second, y'all. I need y'all to give me a second. I'm trying to do multiple things at once. Thurman would have won. I need y'all to give me a second.
You know what I mean? Everybody always coming at me, coming at my throat. They say, you know, I ain't fought nobody at the 147-pound division. Yeah. And I just be laughing, you know what I mean? Because everybody, the top welterweights in the divisions, you know what I mean, when they say they is. Who y'all got this weekend, Danny or Errol? My take, it's going to be a good fight. You know, you got two talented fighters fighting each other. But let's all be real for one moment. And everybody talking about they always, you know, they real and they know boxing. Well, let's be real. If you know boxing, why should we consider Danny Garcia a top welterweight in the division? Can somebody tell me that? And that's my boy, you know what I mean? I ain't hating on him or nothing. I just want to hear, you know, from the people. You know, I just want to see what people will allude to. Can anybody tell?
So this is Terrence Crawford before on fight week for Errol Spence, talking about Danny Garcia's resume and all that. I just don't understand the notion. Like, bro, the man was talking about Danny Garcia's resume, but then he went to Danny Garcia's fight. He was talking about Errol Spence's resume, but then he went to Errol Spence's fight. I mean, what part of the game is that? What part of the game is that? Talk bad about someone's resume and say they basically only fought one person, but then you go to their fight, and then it just opens your chest to the criticism, because people are like, hey, how you gonna talk about Porter, Danny, Thurman, Errol? Who have you beat? Victim, villain, explain. Man, it's actually sad to me because I respect Crawford the fighter. Nebraska eating a banana, just saying. Oh, you talking about Rico and Belly? I don't know, bro. It's just, to me, it's upsetting because it's like, it's a bad look. And I rate Crawford. I rate Crawford a lot, but the only reason we have to look into this stuff is because his team keep putting out information. They keep putting out information. You know what I mean? And like, see, like the thing with me, I'm consistent. Like Top Rank got Shakur Stevenson fighting Tokayana Clara or some shit, right? This weekend. That's his little bro. Shakur is a great fighter, but the whole card was supposed to be Miguel Berchelt versus Oscar Valdez. So instead of putting a black fighter against Tokuhana Claritin or whatever his name is, right? Why didn't they give him Oscar Valdez, who wasn't sick? Miguel Berchelt was sick with the Rona, so he couldn't fight. I get that. But why didn't Top Rank put in Shakur Stevenson with Oscar Valdez, a guy he's been calling out? And Crawford is critiquing PBC fighters' resumes like Danny Garcia, but he's not saying nothing about Lil Bro Shakur not getting an opportunity. You see what I'm saying? You like, if you're gonna open the floodgates, open them all the way and be consistent. That's what I would prefer. Shakur is a beast. He's a great fighter. But why they got him fighting Tokuhana Clara? Has anyone seen the promotion and build up? Has anyone watched Clara fight? So if you're gonna go in on people's resume, go in on everybody's resume. You know what I'm saying? That's what I think. You know, you're criticizing people at welterweight's resume who have a better resume than you do at welterweight. I don't understand the logic. Shakur is not no 5'2". You tripping. I met Shakur, he was 15, 16, he wasn't 5'2" then, so I know you lying. He is not no 5'2", bro. I don't know who told you that. He bigger than Lomachenko. And Lomachenko ain't no 5'2". Hey, you about to get blocked, bro. Bro, this agenda is crazy. Hey, block Rando. Icy, just block him. Block this idiot, bro. This man got anime porn on his shit. Just block him. Just get rid of him. Thank you. Shout out to Icy. Icy came through dripping. Bang. I'm just saying, man, keep it consistent. See, people, fighters, they got allegiances and stuff. I've sparred with this guy. This is my friend. But they don't go in on everybody's resume. You going in on PBC resume because you got an agenda. You know, you got an agenda to attack your ops and make them look bad or whatever. But in turn, if you're not keeping it real, you're going to make yourself look bad. You're talking down to people who have better, like Andre Ward. He could talk crazy or talk down on people's resume at 168. He could say whatever he wants to Zurdo Ramirez if he was active. You know why? Because he had a way better resume than Zurdo Ramirez. So me, I'm a realist. If Andre Ward was like, man, Zurdo, he ain't fought nobody. Boom, 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 boom. I wouldn't even say nothing. I wouldn't say nothing because Andre Ward has reserved the right and proven to be the best at 168, Super 6, beat Chad Dawson, beat Edwin Rodriguez, etc. So if Andre Ward was talking about James DeGale resume or, you know, Zurdo Ramirez at the time at 168, then you got to let that rock. But for Crawford to be talking about people's resume at 47, it doesn't hold the same weight because you're a great fighter, but most of those accomplishments and okay, listen. I'm about to cook y'all. I don't even know why y'all keep doing this to me, bro. Y'all about to get cooked. Why do you think Crawford keeps referencing the past? Why, if you listen to everything Crawford says, why does he keep referencing his past accomplishments pre-welterweight? Shout out to Nider. He said, because that's all he has to show off. Bro, if you listen to Crawford talk, he said, oh, when I fought Thierry Jean, people thought it was going to be boom, boom, boom. Gamboa fight, y'all said he was too strong. When I fight Lundy, and then boom, boom, boom. But Victor Postol, y'all said he wasn't boom, 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 boom. If you listen to how he talks, a lot of what he is saying is referencing, oh, when I moved up for a Thierry Jean fight, Postol, and I unified, boo, boo, boo. Gamboa, Lundy, do. That's what is being said. You don't really even hear Errol Spence talk about Chris Van Herdeen, Bundu. That was a crazy knockout. Chris Algieri. No disrespect to them guys, but Errol has recent accomplishments that trump those accomplishments to the point where that was on his incline up. So if he's talking about his career, he's probably going to pick out the recent and best moments. Like, man, when I fought Mikey, 51,000 AT&T, man down. I fought Sean at Unification. It was a tough fight, man down. He's talking about his accomplishments. He's probably talking about those fights. You know, he don't have to bring up fights from 2016. He could be like, man, last year I fought Sean Porter at the Staples Center, man down. Like, he could talk about what he just did. His last 3 fights are tougher than anybody. I would love to see Crawford fight the last 3 people he fought. You know, Mikey, Sean, Danny. But he don't have no names like that, especially at welterweight. But Errol, he could talk about current like endeavors. Man, 2 weeks ago I beat Danny Garcia worse than anybody, man down. He don't have to be like, oh man, but when I beat Bundu, I went and got some fondue. Me and my old lady got some fondue after I beat me some Bundu. Bro, he don't have to talk about no Bundu. He don't have to. Me and my old lady went and got some fondue after that fight with Bundu. He don't have to talk about Bundu. Like, and that was a crazy knockout because he has current accomplishments. Keith Thurman, he don't have to talk about Jesus Soto Caraz fights and some old shit that he did, Colazo. He could talk about his last year. Man, last year I beat Jose Cito Lopez. You see him cooking dudes. And I had a tough fight, lost a close split decision to Pacquiao, a Hall of Famer. He could talk about the fights he's getting and what he's done. Oh, before that I fought Danny and Sean Porter back to back. He could say that in more recent memory. Crawford, the trajectory, the fights that he's been getting, he can't. He has to talk about what he did at the past divisions. It goes to show you that it ain't popping the same in this division, which we knew, which I predicted. Man, stop. I need to see Bud Thurman. Yeah, and Keith Thurman had inactivity with his injuries, and he still got a better... Bro, just listen. Hold on. I got a good point. Keith Thurman took about 2-3 years off collectively when you add up his injury. How do you have 3 years absence and you still have a better resume than Terrence Crawford in the welterweight division, and Crawford got 5-6 fights at the welterweight division? Keith Thurman was absent because his elbow and tennis elbow. Keith Thurman's 2018 or 19. He didn't fight one time. How do you have 3 years of inactivity? There's no ouch to it. I'm being real. How do you take 2.5 to 3 years off of inactivity and a person fights continually 2 times a year? About, you know, Crawford, I think this year only 1 time, but before the pandemic, he fought 2 times a year. He fought Jeff Horn, Jose Benavidez in 1 year. You know, he fought Amir Khan, Mean Machine in 1 year. That's 4 fights, right? Plus he fought Kell Brook. So he got 4 or 5 fights or whatever it is. And you were fighting 2 times a year up until this pandemic. Keith Thurman has been, for the last 5 years, 3 of them he's been out of it. And his resume is still killing yours. An inactive person. Keith Thurman, he could let's okay. If Crawford end his career tomorrow, and Keith Thurman end his career tomorrow, there's going to be more left to desire for Crawford's career, because they're going to be like, damn, that kid was real dope and real good, but I didn't get to see him versus the fight. Bro, if I'm lying, somebody come prove me wrong. I'm ready for this. If Keith Thurman retired tomorrow, he said, man, my hands aren't holding up the same, I'm retiring. And Terrence Crawford said, man, my hands, they ain't holding up the same, I'm retiring. I don't have the love for this no more. Whose career would you look at as what could have been versus just celebrate everything they accomplished? Deron Heron, my guy, $5. He said, oh, Ish caught a vampire stream. What up? Yeah, what up? Whose career would you be salivating for more? Let's just get it out in the open and be real. If Keith Thurman said, I'm retiring tomorrow, I don't have no desire for this, and Crawford retired tomorrow, whose career would you be like, damn, I wish I would have got to see do. I think let me phrase the question different, because I see mixed answers and I don't think you guys are understanding the question. Who can retire tomorrow? Hold on, I'm gonna frame it better. Who can retire tomorrow and be like, okay, I at least got to see him fight majority of the fights I needed him to fight? Keith Thurman or Crawford? Go. Whose career would you be like, okay, I got to see that person in there with some? Thurman, exactly. Bro, if Crawford retired, it would be so upsetting. Like, damn, I didn't even get to see him versus Doot and this guy. Keith Thurman career is more fulfilled. Bro, Keith, he could retire. I'm not saying he should, because there's still great fights for him. But what I'm saying is, if they just suddenly lost the interest, Keith Thurman could say, hey, man, I fought Diego Chavez, Jesus Soto Caras. Then we were ducked, so we got to Sean Porter, Danny Garcia, and then Jose Cito, who's a beast. And then we got to Pacquiao. Period. If Crawford retired tomorrow, you would be like, what the fuck? Because you would think about all the fight. Damn, I never got to see Pacquiao Crawford, Pacquiao Porter, Pacquiao Spence, Pacquiao. I mean, I keep saying Pacquiao, I'm tripping. Crawford, you know what I'm talking about. Crawford Pacquiao, Crawford Porter, Crawford Thurman, Crawford Spence. You'd be like, man, I didn't get to see nothing. That's like watching a rated R movie and it's Selma Hayek in it and the sex scene about to come on, like Desperado and some shit. The sex scene about to come on and the movie end. You'd be like, what the fuck is this? You watching Desperado and Selma Hayek in that motherfucker, and the sex scene about to come on, and then the movie just cut off and the credits start rolling. That's Crawford's career at welterweight. It's like watching that rated R movie. You trying to see Selma Hayek, what she talking about, and then the credits just start rolling. Directed by Robert Rodriguez, starring Antonio. You be like, what the fuck is this? Where's Selma? Hey, give my money back, bro. I'll be hot. I came to see Selma. I want to see Selma Hayek. And the credits just come on. Bro, you would be disappointed in the motherfucker. You be disappointed in the motherfucker. You get to see them Selma titty. You be disappointed in the mug. He said, Bud with blue ball up. Why you gonna say it like that, bro? Okay, you guys get it. Yeah, you go to a Sharon Stone movie, you go see Basic Instinct, and you don't get that beaver shot. Man, come on, bro. You trying to wait till the interrogation, she about to show the beaver, you know what I'm saying? Leave it to beaver looking ass. And then the movie cut off. You be like, man, come on. Where's Sharon Stone? Come on. Man, I'm about to go from Basic Instinct to Killer Instinct. I'm about to be Glacius out this motherfucker. What you do to the movie? Man, come on. You'll be tight. Best part of the movie, come on, the movie cut off. Come on. Who Porter beat in his last fight? Who the fuck Crawford beat in his last fights, bro? Bro, Dion Brown. You first of all, you taking a picture while you driving. That don't even look safe. And hold on, he got a seatbelt on? The motherfucker ain't wearing no seatbelt. You see that? Dion Brown, come on. Bro, KEJ, how you Crawford over Porter, but they didn't fight. So that's what we doing. So the fans are just anointing who wins a fight before, but they don't have to fight. So I could just say Ward over Kovalev, and then they never fight. Man, what? Put KEJ in the hot seat? No, we're gonna put him in the block seat. Block him. Icy, block him. Get KEJ. Get him out of here. So I could just say Ward Kovalev. Ward's greater than Kovalev. Floyd greater than Pacquiao. And we don't have to watch none of the fights. Man, come on. That's what I'm talking about, Icy. Get you a piece. Get you a piece of that action, Icy. Icy, get you a piece. You can, bro, they can cheerlead and say Crawford over Porter. They're both great fighters. So I'm not going to diss either fighter. But you can't just anoint somebody and say, so you're so terrified to see the outcome that you would rather just say Crawford, or Crawford greater than Porter, rather than to actually see it. What type of boxing fan is you? You know what I mean? You rather just say Mayweather's greater than Pacquiao, but never see it. You rather say this is these lame boxing fans' logic. They rather just say Canelo over Charlo. Based on what? Like, we got to watch the fight. I don't want to talk about Canelo hypothetically beats Charlo. Show me the fight. I said it for years. LSI, let's see it. Yeah, of course they don't keep it real. Bro, I don't care what y'all talking about in the comment section. I want to see Crawford and Porter. They're emotional, I told you. They on that Carl Thomas. My summer rain. They on that bad boy. Tell me, baby, do you think of it? Bro, they on that bad boy R&B diet. That 112 shit. That Carl Thomas shit. That Total. Bro, these dudes is R&B like soft. They on they Tony Braxton. I can touch the sky when I'm around you, baby. I can touch. Bro, you making me high ass dudes, bro. They on that Tony Braxton time, bro. I can touch the sky when I'm around you, baby. I in the bro. These dudes on that Tony Braxton. Break my heart. Say let me again. Get these dudes out of here. Hurt your car when you walk down the door and walk down. Yeah, unbreak my heart ass dudes, bro. Shut that soft ass shit up. Get these dudes out of here. They rather talk about who wins hypothetically than to actually see it. That's crazy. Yeah, I think Terrence Crawford will beat Porter. Like, okay, can we watch it? I don't give a fuck what you think. Who are you? No, I don't want to see the fight. Not a big fight. I just think Crawford will destroy Porter. Like, we don't care what you think. I thought your daddy was gonna pull out and he didn't. That's why we have your ass. You know what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? I thought your daddy was gonna pull out, but he didn't. And now we stuck with you. So we don't give a fuck what you think. Everybody got a thought. Everybody got thought. I thought your pops was gonna pull out. He didn't. You know what I mean? You feel me? You know what I mean? Bro, Sean Porter is Crawford's motherfucking mandatory. Crawford just fought a motherfucking mandatory in Mean Machine. I'm not trying to hear no excuses. Oh, but Sean Porter done bring too much to the table. You know, I know he's willing and able, but Sean Porter, he don't bring too much to the table. It's not really that big of a fight. Man, fuck all that. Mean Machine ain't no shit, no big fight, bro. And you still put it in Madison Square Garden or wherever the fuck that was. Times Square, wherever they fought, man. Come on. Yeah, but that was different. Mean Machine, he had a cool name. Lean Machine. Man, fuck all that. Bro, so because his name is Showtime, he don't get the fight, but Lean Green Foreman Machine or whatever the fuck get the, man, come on. Y'all better stop playing with me. He said, and but I dropped. Bro, it's looking weird, bro. It's looking weird. Mean Machine's a mandatory. He get to fight straight away. Keep that shit all the way in-house. It's the top ranked way. And then they want to reach out and split the pie with PBC, but they want to dictate who PBC decide to give them. Man, it don't work like that, bro. You take the scrap, man. I'm Michael Jackson, you Tito. Your ass belong to me. The Beach Boys will go get you a great American ass whooping. Bro, listen. You're not in the position of power. This ain't no democracy. Yes, it is. No, it ain't. It's the United States of James Carter now. I'm Michael Jackson and you Tito. Your ass belong to me, bro. How you gonna tell PBC, who has all the welterweights outside of Crawford? How are you gonna tell them who to free up for your fight? You know, like, hey, we'll send you Danny Garcia, Jose Cito Lopez, Sean Porter, Keith Thurman. No, I don't want him. Tell one time that we don't want to fight him. We only want Errol, the A side, or Manny Pacquiao. Bro, how do you think that's going to work? Everything that Crawford's team is showing and saying, they're showing their hand, they're not the A side. How you going to tell another promotion what fights to free up? Okay, so Joshua was allegedly the punk ass A side, and he was undefeated, and he had the belts, and he had all sold out Wembley and all this shit. Wilder had to beat to the sound of his drum at that time, right? But Top Rank, they can reject good credible names for Crawford, like Keith Thurman and Sean Porter, and demand from the media and try to control boxing Twitter only two names, Pacquiao or Spence. But then no one's bringing up the point. If you wanted Pacquiao so bad for Terrence Crawford, why'd you let him get away? I'm going to say it again. If you, listen, you are not going to play this game with the dawn of all dawns, the boss of all bosses, Mr. Independent Media. Oh, yeah. Oh, man, you know. EGO. I'm going to say it again for the slow people in the back. If you wanted a Crawford and Pacquiao fight so bad, why'd you let Pacquiao get away? Why didn't you make the Pacquiao fight when he was actually contracted to fight with you? Wouldn't that be easier? Like, okay, listen. Now Crawford's team is getting destroyed, as I told you. Ain't nobody gonna tell me what I'm saying don't make sense, and I'll prove it, like I always do. Y'all can play these games and shit. We gonna get to the nitty gritty. I promise you. Pacquiao was signed with Top Rank. Crawford was signed with Top Rank and even signed a re-extension. He extended his contract. If you wanted Pacquiao so bad, they could have fought from 140, 147. You had both of them. Why did you give a white Australian fighter, Jeff Horn, home court advantage instead of giving Crawford the fight? How does a white Australian school teacher that no one in America had ever fucking heard of, with a record of 15-0, his only credible name was Randall Bailey, a black guy who hurt him in the fight before Jeff Horn came back and stopped him? How did this white Australian man get a Manny Pacquiao fight before Terrence Crawford? Because if you would have given Crawford, who was deserving of a Pacquiao fight at that time, because he was running through competition and his brand was probably stronger, why did you not give? Then you wouldn't have to worry about PBC. That's why I told you it's all a game. It's all smoke and mirrors. It's all a facade. You wouldn't had to have worried about PBC and Al Heyman and Errol Spence and all that, because you had Pacquiao and you had Terrence Bud Crawford. There were no sides of the street at a point in time, and you still didn't make Crawford and Pacquiao. Now Pacquiao's moved on to greener pastures, and he's working with that black advisor, Al Heyman, and he's doing numbers. And now you hating, saying he's going to get brain damage, and they're overpaying him, and they're losing money on him for the Broner fight. Boom, 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 boom. You still keep connecting Crawford's name to him. Why didn't you do this when he was signed with your company, if you wanted Crawford to have that fight so bad? Maybe because you didn't. So now you're trying to pander to boxing Twitter or whoever with these lies and agenda about Crawford, man, we going to get the fight in Qatar. Where the fuck is Pacquiao? I don't trust anybody that's saying the Pacquiao Qatar shit when I'm not hearing anything from Pacquiao's team. Name an interview where Manny Pacquiao put Terrence Crawford and said, Bud, you're next, or anything, any interview where he indicated that he wanted to fight Crawford. And you guys want to play this fucking stupid ass charade like I'm stupid. The worst thing you can do in this world, or one of them, is insult my intelligence, because you're going to get cooked. I promise you that. Don't insult my intelligence. Show me a video of Pacquiao training, him doing the interview. Yes, I believe my fight with Qatar with Bud Crawford. Like, show me some shit where he's even talking about Crawford. But meanwhile, Kevin Iole of Yahoo Sports said, oh, I talked to Sean Gibbons of Manny Pacquiao Promotions, and he liked the way Errol Spence looked. Errol looked good and sharp, and he's ready to fight him in 2021. But I haven't heard anything about Pacquiao ever saying anything about Crawford. The only people who have mentioned this are Bob Arum, Top Rank, Bo Mack, Crawford, and similar. I have not heard one thing from Pacquiao. So again, it begs the question, why did you just not make the Pacquiao fight? See, it's a blame game. That's all this is. It's a blame game. Let's blame the black guy, Al Heyman, for Pacquiao getting away from me, and now I can't make the fight because Pacquiao's doing his own thing or whatever, and we'll just blame them for all our shortcomings with managing Crawford. They're going to be barbecue chicken, absolutely. That's what this is all becoming in boxing. It's just one big, huge, major blame game. Errol Spence is hiding behind Al Heyman. Oh, so he flew through a car windshield to fight a heavy-handed Danny with a better resume than Crawford at welterweight, just to hide behind Al Heyman for this other guy who's not even fighting the same level of competition. So Errol Spence, Bob Arum wants me to believe that Errol Spence is so terrified that he's fighting all these tough outs, Sean Porter, Danny Garcia, Kell Brook at home, just to hide from Crawford, who hasn't fought anybody like these guys, or Mikey Garcia. Yeah, that sounds believable. Like I said, Pacquiao, Crawford, why they were both with Top Rank. Then you wouldn't have no one to blame. But you didn't blame yourself for not making the fight because you didn't want the fight. So now you're trying to switch and paint it like PBC is the holdup. Oh, we wanted to fight Pacquiao. You know? Just stop it. It looks horrible. And then, like, just ask yourself real questions. Why would Pacquiao even want to fight Crawford? Definitely a tough fight. A crafty, ambidextrous guy, younger guy, a guy who can't. He's losing money for his company. Why the fuck would Pacquiao want to fight him? Nah, fuck that. Y'all gonna get cooked. I told you it's over. Why would Pacquiao want to fight him? He doesn't represent like more money. His brand isn't bigger than Keith Thurman and Broner's. He's a dangerous fight. Pacquiao's older, 42 or whatever age he is. What does he get from that? When he could fight Conor McGregor and probably cook him and make way more money. When he could fight Mikey Garcia and, you know, he's done good against Mexican fighters in the past. You know, and they're about similar heights and shit. Why would he even want to fight Crawford? Bro, how y'all like your old media? El Dente? Yeah. I'm gonna cook these motherfuckers El Dente. Why would Pacquiao even want to fight Crawford? Like, out of all the options, he could possibly fight fucking Jake Paul or some stupid shit. Well, at 42, he just fought Keith Thurman. He could do a rematch. He could fight Jake Paul or some weirdo shit. He could fight Conor McGregor. He could fight Mikey, or he could fight Errol in AT&T Stadium. All of which produce more money. Bro, if Pacquiao fought Jake Paul, he'll make more money than fighting Crawford. Jake Paul has a bigger brand than Crawford. It's weird. It's stupid. You know, you can say whatever you want about YouTubers fighting, but Mike Tyson having him on the card did over 1 million. And that was a circus type of card. That's just where we're at in boxing. And I'm not saying that's my first pick, like me as a boxing fan, what I want to see. Stop what? Stop telling the truth? Like Jay said, y'all stop me when I stop telling the truth? Y'all getting cooked. I ain't stopping shit. Smash the like button. Bro, Pacquiao could fight Mikey, make more money. Latinos will come out for Mikey Garcia. Is Nebraska gonna is they gonna turn out in full force for a Pacquiao fight? You know, I'm sure some people would go. Stop it. Stop it. Mikey Garcia stays connected with boxing because he comes from a fight family. Even when he's not fighting, he's still being interviewed by, you know, top YouTubers and his brothers at the fight. His brother just trained Jose Cito. Crawford, his problem, his own promoter says, is he don't promote himself. So he kind of disappears. And then now he's been showing guns and all types of shit. Bro, it looks crazy, bro. Bro, it looks crazy, to be honest. Your promoter says you don't promote yourself good, and then he pulled out hella guns. Like, what? What's going on, bro? Bro, Crawford posted this yesterday. He got hella straps on his porch. And he posting that. Like, what? Like, what? Like, it said, they say I got too many. I say I ain't got enough. Like, I don't know. I ain't never seen him post no picture like that. He just pulled out hella guns. And that's how I know you live in, like, in Nebraska or some shit, because, bro, in Cali, if you pull out that many guns on your porch, you getting arrested or shot at by the SWAT. Like, bro, I could tell you from Nebraska. Bro, he looks like he's on a porch or some shit. Look, he on a porch. Bro, if I pull out this many biscuits and Glockies, and bro, I will get arrested. They had the motherfucking ghetto birds over my shit. The fuck? I'm just telling you what it is. I'm from Cali, bro. Let me pull that much. You see me on the 5 o'clock news. I promise you. I promise I'll be on the fight. They be like, oh shit, Eagles on the news today. Check it out, babe. Like, I'll be on the news, bro. If I pull out all the straps and have it on, be polling neighbors and shit, be, what the fuck is this? Bro, I'll get arrested so quick. Motherfucker, I have to shoot my way out. Bang, bang, bro. You know what I'm saying? Man, Cali, it's over. They'll probably send me to New York, hit me with the Rico. Like, come on, bro. Yeah. And so I don't know. Your promoter say you don't promote. Now you doing Instagram lives and apparently John Wick and shit. Like you John Wick now. Like what? I don't know. Just weird. Like he's like, I'll show Bob, motherfucker. Bob said I don't be promoting my shit. I'll show I'm John Wick out this motherfucker. Bro, like you just put out hella straps for what? Bro, Crawford finna be in the next John Wick. It's crazy. He gonna be in John Wick 4 out this motherfucker. So I don't know. Your promoter say you don't promote. And then now you're doing Instagram lives and talking about PBC. It's just weird. All this shit. So, oh shit. Somebody said Budwick. Please stop. That is hella funny. Somebody said Budwick. I don't know why that's so funny to me. That sounded hilarious. That man said, Budwick, you killed my dog. He said, Bud prepared for a zombie apocalypse. It looked like it. Y'all tripping. I ain't even reading these comments. Y'all tripping right now. Oh shit, hold on, y'all. I gotta get my snack. Y'all. My man, Bud, he said Bud Wick. Man, let's go. The man said Bud Wick. That sounds like a place in New York. Yeah, I'm from 15th and Lenox in Budwick. Like, what the fuck is Budwick? Y'all are crazy. These are gummy bears. Y'all tripping with this Budwick shit. That is hella funny. I don't know why. Y'all tripping, bro. Man, I'm on the gummies right now. Damn, this shit got 12 flavors. Pineapple, watermelon, blue raspberry, and grape. Hey, this shit kind of slap. I don't know the brand. It's called Albanese. They need to sponsor the channel. This shit good. I just got these from Walmart. That's the brand. That shit. That shit is hilarious. So it said Crawford auditioned for the next Expendables. Y'all tripping. He had hella straps out. Yeah, these are good right now. Man, I want the best for Bud. I want to see him. I want to see him do well, but I don't know about his business and decision making. But it's Bud business. Damn, these are some heat. My bad. Q Ward said they got these at the hotel, at the mini bar. Yeah, these are some heat. He said, I'm calling them Budwick from now on. Y'all tripping. That Budwick shit is hella funny. No, I really want the best for Bud, but we'll see what he decides to do. But my thing is this. He said, Bud got to be wiser. Yeah, like the beer. Listen. I told y'all, I'm the kid with the most bars. The end is near. I said, Bud got to be wiser. but I ain't talking about no beer. Bars. Listen, I'm the kid with the golden voice. I said, old media, don't fret. I know they drunk. The end is near. Bud gotta be wiser. I ain't talking about no beer. Bars. Bud wiser. Man, stop playing with them. The end is near. I got him drunk off the bars. The end is near. Bud gotta get wiser. I ain't talking about no beer. Rappers getting smoked like Kush, that Anheuser-Busch. Oh my God, I'm about to start snapping on y'all. Yeah, we'll see what Bud decides. We'll see what he decides. But the way he's talking, I don't know. I don't know. Because he sound like he believed that he's the A side. I don't see how that's going to work. Bro, if Bud say he the A side, and we know Errol really is the A side, how's that going to work? Listen, what part of the game is this? I get it. Bob Arum, he a legend in the game in terms of boxing promoter. I get it. Hold on. But you can't tell another business how to run their business. What part of the game is it that because collectively they really failed Bud, Promotional, the whole team, either whatever it is, they have never rolled out the red carpet for Bud Crawford. Bud Crawford never really made himself, that it dude either. Like the Charlos, they're doing a good job branding themselves. One of them got the ringside with the Lions. Over the years, they've had some funny interviews where they're outspoken. You know what I mean? Bud is just kind of Bud. And then Crawford, his network and promoter, they haven't really rolled out the red carpet for him to make him a star. They were busy promoting Tyson Fury, Lomachenko. They gave Teofimo some pretty good exposure. Like, it's just what it is. Like, but listen, I hope Bud hears this. I hope he hears this because people have been in his corner for years and he needs to hear the truth. And I am the truth. And I'm not talking Errol Spence. Listen, everything I say, it gets deep. It gets a little dense. I am the truth. I ain't talking Errol Spence. I said I am the truth. I ain't talking Errol Spence. Bud has been set up to fail in so many ways. In so many ways. And I can give you a few. I'm not going to spend all day on this. If you guys really remember, Bud Crawford, shout out to Joshua Jackson. The money keep coming in on the Vampire stream. Sub ego, Bud need to make noise before he demand a mega fight. Fight Porter or Thurman would be best. Absolutely. Absolutely. But I'm a reporter. This is why, listen, first of all, there's a lot of reporters that don't got nuts like me. They're worried about, credentials or people getting mad. I'm just here to do my job. I'm not trying to go out of my way to make people mad and stuff, but I'm not going to be fake or like lie on my channel. That's just not who I am. I want to give you guys real content, real thoughts. If I'm wrong in any way and somebody hollers at me, say, hey, this is not true. Like if Bud, if he called me or some shit and said, hey, I got a killer resume at 147 and he's able to explain it to me, then I'll hear him out. But I mean, I don't think he's going to convince me in that regard. But that's what I'm saying. He's been set up for failure for quite some time because this was all predictable. Okay, how is it that I have videos? I'm a reporter. I do this every day. Every day. And it's not just about Bud. I talk about everything in boxing. So I'm pretty well versed, right? Like, this ain't the Boxing Bud channel. This is the Boxing Ego channel. But I like Bud. I've always liked Bud. I think he's a terrific fighter. And I talk about all the boxing. So I know the promoters, what they're saying, and blah, 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 cover fights, blah, blah, blah. All right? This is how Bud is. Here's a couple examples of how Bud's been set up to fail. One, I have videos that I've done and live streams that I've done where I predicted this years in advance, that Bud was inevitably going to run out of names on his side of the street a lot quicker, and then it would come to this, which is what you're seeing, this whole agenda and this push, make it look like all PBC's ducking and all this shit. I predicted it. So how is it that this is Bud's career, but a little old YouTuber like me had the wherewithal years in advance to call this out, that this was going to be a problem? My man, Money Man said, I remember. If you're a real fan of my channel and you consume my content, you guys will remember me talking about this when he re-signed and stuff like that. How is it from 2018, because I think that's the year he re-signed, I'm able to have predicted this moment 2 years later, almost 3 years later, but this is Bud's life. This is Bud's career, and he didn't see this coming? And I'm just a YouTuber. I got to worry about Canelo fights and Deontay Wilder, what's going on with him, and, you know, Floyd Mayweather and whatever else is going on, and traveling. I got to worry about everything. So how was I able to have the foresight to see that you were going to get to this point? But Bud's living the life. That's what I'm saying. Some people are reactive instead of proactive. On my channel, I've been proactive. I seen this coming a mile away. We knew this was coming. And most fans, like, I'm not reinventing the wheel. I've got a lot of stuff right, but this was easy. This was like one of the easiest predictions if you were being realistic. It's common sense, One person has more of something, whatever, the quantity is greater, and you have less. So that's like, I don't have the same amount of money as Floyd Mayweather. So if we have a flex off, right, pause, and I go out for a night on the town and I'm trying to buy the bar out and do all this shit to keep up with Floyd Mayweather and gamble and all this shit, I'm going to run out of money before Floyd Mayweather. My pockets are going to be hit and hurt well before Floyd Mayweather's pockets are hit and hurt. Like, if he starts spending 10,000 on bets and shit like that, and I'm trying to keep up with the Joneses, I'm going to be fucked up trying to, trying to keep up with a Floyd. He dropping, buying the bar out and buying everyone a drink and gambling and taking care of everyone's bill and shit. If I try to do some Floyd shit, then I'm going to be cooked. Terrence Crawford went against the machine. He thought that he could get the place that had 10, 12 quality welterweights that he would need to fight over to him. Never thought that, hey, I might have to abandon some of my ties for the greater good of my business and move over there to possibly get the fights. I mean, this was easy to see. Only person Bud can fight is Ray Robinson, and he ducking that smoke. Bud is exposed. Shout out to Joaquin Thompson. See, the fans will let you know. He said, you did predict this and the DAZN BS. Told you, I'm just doing my job. And when I say these things, people say, oh, you're hating. All right. Then a year later or whatever it takes for it to come true, I sit here on my throne, said, hey, told you. Bro, it's a bad look. And I seen this coming a mile away. You've exhausted all your options. Like I said in my analogy, I can't compete with Floyd. He has more money than me. So I will get my pockets ran through before he does. It's the same thing at PBC. They got all the people you need to fight outside of yourself. You can't clone yourself and fight yourself. So you are going to run out of people before them. Now, the kicker is this. Bud really in his mind, not having fought who Errol, Keith, Pacquiao, Sean, and all these guys on PBC have fought, Berto, any of them, somehow thinks he's in charge. In his mind, he's like, yeah, I'm the man. These guys lost and I never lost. Bro, what? It sounds diluted. It sounds absolutely diluted. You think you're in some kind of driver's seat. Bro, Tim Bradley was like, oh, PBC fighters don't want to fight Crawford. He's begging. Do you know how bad that looks? That Crawford is being called a beggar by Timothy Bradley? He said he's begging. That's not. When have you ever seen Floyd beg for a fight? Since Crawford believes he's the A side, nah, y'all laughing, but y'all know I'm cooking. I'm hitting y'all with the facts. Tim Bradley said Terrence Crawford, he wants to fight all y'all PBC guys. Y'all, he's begging. Okay, that made you look worse. Thanks a lot, Tim Bradley. That made you look worse. When have you ever seen Floyd or Leonard Ellerby say, man, just fight Floyd, he's begging? Do you know how bad that would make Floyd look? If Leonard Ellerby or whoever that represented Floyd said he's begging Conor McGregor, he's begging Pacquiao for a fight, he's begging Cotto for a fight. And this is what the clout chase that Top Rank, ESPN, and Team Crawford are comfortable doing. It's just the facts. The man said he's begging. Bro, Floyd would look extremely bad if he said that. He's begging. Well, all right, bro. If that's how you want to go out, that's just not a good look. So Bradley already said Crawford is begging. So if he's begging, how the fuck you the A side? It doesn't, none of this stuff makes sense. He's begging, but he's the A side. When the A side got to beg, okay. Listen, I'm not joking. I'm not pulling your leg. Tim Bradley said he was begging when the A side got to beg. Some of y'all don't even bathe. Listen, man, I'm a bathing ape. So I said, oh my gosh. I said, some of y'all don't even bathe. I'm bathing ape. I'm amazing great when I'm making tapes. Bro, I'm about to start snapping on y'all. I said, I'm bathing ape. I'm amazing great when I'm making tape. Bro, stop playing with me, bro. I said, I didn't come to joke. I ain't pulling your leg. Timothy Bradley said he had to beg when the A side got to beg. Some of y'all don't even bathe. Block Jimothy. Who the fuck is a Jimothy? Fake ass Timothy. Fake Bradley. Now he mad at me. Deron Heron. Block Jimothy. Fuck is you talking about? Sucker. Get rid of him. When the A side got to beg, bro. This whole charade. Nah, I'm not mad. Bro, if you see how much money we make today, no, I'm definitely not mad. No, I'm not mad. Deron or one of my shooters, get rid of Jimothy. When does the A side need to beg? That's Timothy Bradley's own words. He said he's begging. When the A side got to beg somebody for a fight, when have you seen Floyd do that? The only time the A side begged was when Raekwon dropped only built for Cuban links, and the B side, wow. That man said only built for Cuban links. Ooh, Deron, that's what I'm talking about. Again, it's just all this whole plot, whatever they're trying to do is just not adding up. It's not looking good. Tim Bradley said you begging. He's begging for a fight with y'all. And then, bro, I'm gonna have to talk about this in multiple occasions because it's just so much to unpack. Then Tim Bradley said PBC fighters, the only one he respects is Deontay Wilder. Everybody else sucks because they don't want to fight Crawford and he's the best. This is what they felt comfortable putting out, right? But then Sean Porter just called you out, and your promoter came back a day later and said that's not a big fight. It's not big enough. Keith Thurman called you out. Bo Mack did an interview with the Boxing Voice and says, Keith Thurman ain't got no damn belt. This looks extremely bad for Crawford, bro. How can you just say everyone's ducking you, and then you have great viable options that fans like myself would pay for to see you fight? I would pay top dollar to see Keith Thurman and Crawford. I would pay top dollar to see Mikey Garcia and Crawford. I'd pay top dollar to see Sean Porter and Crawford. But according to Team Crawford, all these fights are not good enough. It doesn't make sense.
Errol Spence, two best guys. I don't think we'll ever see them fight. I really don't. It's terrible. We should. You guys should fight. Right. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, the economics of boxing, that's just the way it is, I guess. It freaking sucks. I want to see these guys get it on. Stop saying you number one. Stop saying you this. And you fight Terrence Crawford. You fight Errol Spence. I know Terrence wants to fight. Right. But Errol ain't saying nothing. Come on. You know what I'm saying? Terrence has been out. He's been out boisterous and saying, I want this fight. I want the Errol Spence fight. But they not answering that phone. They don't want to do business. So what is it? So is he ducking them? What you say?
He don't want to answer the phone. What? Whatever.
Who? Ducking him? Yeah. Yeah, he ducking him. Absolutely, he ducking him. Yeah, y'all take that. He ducking Terrence Crawford. He don't want to fight Terrence Crawford. I'm telling you that right now. You know what I'm saying? Because if he did, if he wanted to be considered the best pound for pound in the game, or 1 and 2, he'll fight Terrence Crawford. But the fact that he's not fighting Terrence Crawford,
but what about the fact that there's a lot of welterweights and a champion on that side of the fence? So that
man, I don't care about no side of the fence. For me, I don't care. Side of the fence, this is the world.
Bro, that's Tim Bradley. So keep in mind, the question was, what about the fact that there's champions on that side of the side of the fence? And Tim Bradley starts ranting about not caring about a side of the fence. But there's champions on the side that Errol Spence is fighting. And he said, I don't care about sides of the fence. He didn't answer the question. Listen.
You know what I'm saying? Because if he did, if he wanted to be considered the best pound for pound in the game, or 1 and 2, he'll fight Terrence Crawford. But the fact that he's not fighting Terrence Crawford,
well, what about the fact that there's a lot of welterweights and a champion on that side of the fence? So that
man, I don't care about no side of the fence. For me, I don't care. Side of the fence, this is the world of boxing. Okay? This is the world of boxing. And it makes me sad when I watch a Fox event and they don't even have a champion like Terrence Crawford in their lineup. That pisses me off. I'm like, man, what are you doing? Y'all have your own world of boxing over there? Like, you have your own thing going on? It's horrible, man. It's not right. It's not right, but it is what it is, huh? I guess that's what we're going to say. It is what it is. It sucks.
Well, Porter's a champion as well. You can't just
Porter, man, listen, Porter is a nightmare for anybody. Okay? He's rough and tough. He comes to fight. He's in shape like hell, you know. He's going to give Spence a run for his money. You know what I mean? You can't count him out. He always figures out a way.
You see how dumb Bradley sounds, bro? He just said, okay, so he said, I don't care about none of the champions. And then the guy said, what about Porter? And he's like, man, he's always in shape. He going to give anybody hell. Porter's a dog. You can't count Porter out. He going to give Spence. So you're mad. Bro, this is not logical. Anybody representing Crawford saying this shit is not logical, bro. You just got mad and said Errol Spence was ducking Terrence Crawford. And the guy said, what about the other great fighters that Errol can fight on his side? And you said, I don't care about all that. And then he said, what about Porter? He's like, oh, man, but Porter's always in shape. Porter's a great fighter. Porter come to fight. You can never count Porter out. So you're saying it's a good fight. He just said Porter will give anybody hell in a tough fight. So you're saying it should be a good fight for Terrence Crawford. Now, this is an older interview. You see what I'm saying?
No.
Bro, These dudes trip on their own feet because they say too much.
Yes, that's what we gonna say. It is what it is. It sucks.
Well, Porter's a champion as well. You can't just
Porter, man, listen, Porter is a nightmare for anybody. Okay, he's rough and tough. He comes to fight. He's in shape like hell. You know, he's gonna give Spence a run for his money. You know what I mean? You can't count him out. He always figures out a way. You know, but who you think gonna win that fight? If you had to pick Porter or Spence, who you think?
I would pick Spence.
Oh, and of course.
But I also picked Thurman to beat Pacquiao, so I could be wrong.
But you could. We all can be wrong. Right. You know what I'm saying? It's
Bro, he said I also picked Thurman to beat Pacquiao, and I was wrong. And he said, yeah, I mean, we could all be wrong. Bro, what? This shit sound bad, bro.
What you like is what you've envisioned, is what you see. You know what I mean? I picked Thurman because he was younger, bigger, stronger, bigger puncher. I thought he'd be able to bag up Pacquiao when he did in spots. I thought he'd be able to move and use his, and catch Pacquiao coming in, which he didn't. He pulled straight back.
So Bradley, in essence, is countering his own argument. He's admitting that Sean Porter is a tough out for anybody, but he's slandering Errol Spence, saying he's ducking Terrence Crawford, even though Errol Spence is fighting guys like Porter, who he just said was a guy that gives anybody hell and you can't count him out, and that he picked Thurman to beat Pacquiao and he was wrong. See, the thing is, guys, we don't know who's going to win these fights until they actually fight. People can favor Crawford versus Porter. We got to watch the fight to see who wins. Some people maybe think Porter can actually beat Crawford. That's why it's a good fight.
He made the mistake over and over again. You know what I mean? I thought he was a lot smarter than that, and he wasn't. So, I mean, you know, we can pick and choose. I was wrong.
Bro, he said he thought Thurman was smarter than that to not pull straight back with Pacquiao, but he got dropped like 2-3 times by Pacquiao too. You know what I mean? Maybe even more. So, like, what is Bradley even talking about? Pacquiao's just that dude.
For picking Thurman, but I knew I was wrong. I knew I was on the limb. I knew that it was a 50-50 fight, but I was going with the younger gun.
How'd you score it, though, Tim?
Bro, this man is killing his own credibility. He just said he knew Thurman versus Pacquiao was a 50-50 fight. So why would you be angered by PBC for putting on Sean Porter and Errol Spence and Pacquiao and Thurman, and you just admitted it was a 50-50 fight? Bro, these dudes do not think. These dudes do not think about what they're saying. It is very apparent. He just admitted in on tape that Keith Thurman, Pacquiao, he picked Thurman to win, and that's not what happened. So he was wrong, and he admitted right there that it was a 50-50 fight. But he's complaining that PBC are ducking Crawford. But you just admitted that Sean Porter versus Errol is a great fight, and Sean Porter gives everybody hell. So you're basically roundabout inadvertently saying that the PBC welterweight shit is lit and they're putting on good fights. Meanwhile, Crawford is fighting who? Mean Machine? That was cool. But no one really knew. He didn't have the name recognition. Amir Khan fight was horrible. Kell Brook fight was horrible. The money keep coming in. We got a $10 cash app, y'all. This one is from David Villarreal Jr. Keep the content, the fire content up. Shout out from Dallas, too. Yeah, shout out to Dallas, man. Dallas fucking with the kid. Bro, it's just, these are horrible takes. They're tripping on their own words and shit. Talking about, okay, so you just admitted Keith Thurman and Pacquiao was a 50-50 fight, and you just said Sean Porter is a tough fight for Errol Spence or anybody else. And we know Danny Garcia is that for Errol. So how are you mad that Errol fighting all these guys and Keith Thurman fighting these guys, but Crawford, you're saying he's the best and he's fighting Amir Khan, Mean Machine, Kell Brook. That's his last 3 fights. Bro, it's an agenda. It's some stupid narrative when motherfuckers getting their ass whooped with the landscape of boxing or promotional strategies and shit like that, and they have no options and they losing money, so they send minions like Tim Bradley to try to stir up dust and put pressure on PBC. It don't work. You're not bro. The only way you could put pressure on PBC is if PBC in-house wasn't getting shit done and they was putting on hella weak fights. If PBC had all the welterweights and they were putting Danny Garcia with like, you know, Boo Boy Jenkins or some shit, then yeah, there would be an uproar. But they're making good fights and your welterweights aren't, because you only have one, which is Crawford. It's what it is. So you're just killing your own argument. You admitted that you picked Keith Thurman to beat Pacquiao. Pacquiao surprised the people who picked Keith Thurman, and you said it was a 50-50 fight. So that was a PBC fight. You in the same year as Sean Porter and Errol Spence. So PBC is destroying y'all so bad, they're putting Keith Thurman and Pacquiao, Spence and Porter all in the same division in the same year. That was all last year. So it's like it's a baseless argument. And then you're saying you got to see Spence versus Porter or Crawford. But what about Porter? Why can't we see that? That's cool. And if you can't get Spence and they have other plans, you can't tell another promotion to free up their mans. They got a plan. Errol's fighting tough competition, doing heavy lifting. Bro, bottom line is this. Errol Spence's last 3 fights or Crawford's last 3 fights? What is harder? Errol Spence fought Mikey Garcia, Sean Porter, Danny Garcia in a row. That schedule or Amir Khan in 2019, Mean Machine in 2019, and Kell Brook in 2020. What is a harder schedule? Bro, anybody debating this is going to get bodied. Who had the harder schedule? Based on what you know in the welterweight division, Spence or Crawford, who had a tougher on paper 3 fights that they signed up for? Spence or Crawford? It's very simple. So I don't care what Ballhead, Bradley, or nobody else is talking about. Spence on paper is fighting the guys that we respect and think are good contemporaries for him to fight. Crawford is not. Case closed. I never thought, listen, I knew Porter was going to be a tough fight. I knew that. I knew Danny was going to be, or I thought Danny was going to be probably tougher than that. And some people had faith that Mikey Garcia can win. Nobody on God's green earth thought Mean Machine, Amir Khan, and Kell Brook was going to really beat Terrence Crawford. I don't know anyone that really honestly thought that. Some people might have bet, like, because the odds were good, but I'm talking about in their heart of all hearts, they really thought Amir Khan in 2019 was going to beat him. Kell Brook in 2020, not knowing if he can even make weight, was going to beat him. It's that simple. Buzz resume is suspect. Hey, Joshua Jackson wildin', bro. He said in the UK we had no belief. That's what I'm saying. So you can't bag on PBC fighters when they got their welterweights fighting. Bro, Jermell Charlo at 154, look at his schedule versus Crawford's schedule. It's over. It is over. The less you talk, the better. Because it's over other than that, unless you talk in some sense. Let's compare Jermell Charlo, his last 3-4 years, to Crawford. It's there. You're going to get embarrassed with this argument. There is no, the only thing you could do is say, ego, you hating, ego, you suck. I hate this channel. You're wrong, but not prove me wrong. Just little kid games. Compare Jermell Charlo at 54 and what he's fought in his last 4 or 5 years to Crawford. Compare Errol Spence in the last 4 or 5 years to Crawford. Bro, it's not even really debatable. It's not really debatable. Spence is fighting undefeated Mikey, Sean Porter, with debatable losses at that point. hurt both of them, dropped Sean Porter, fought Danny Garcia, hurt him, coming off of an accident. Crawford has not even been in an accident, and he's been 100% healthy to our knowledge, and he's fighting lesser comp. Keith Thurman was inactive for 2 or 3 years, and he's fighting better comp. His comeback fight was Jose Cito Lopez. Bro, Keith Thurman hadn't fought in 2-3 years. He came back to Jose Cito Lopez, who just cooked Chia Santana and just cooked John Molina and forced them into retirement. So Jose Cito, you know, he's still a beast. He had a lot of experience. Bro, Jose Cito Lopez is destroying his resume. Listen, I'll put $1,000 on it right now. Win, lose, or draw, Jose Cito Lopez has stepped foot in the ring with way better competition. I got a rack. See, y'all pissing me off now. Let's talk this money. I'll bet $1,000, bro. Jose Cito Lopez has more stringent names on his resume, for sure. Deron Heron, my guy. Crawford wants to get credit for passing. Oh, shit. Crawford wants to get credit for passing 4th grade tests while Spence has been passing calculus. Look at that analogy. My man Deron with that analogy. Oh, my gosh. Eagles Army, the channel members, y'all getting cooked. Crawford wants to get credit for passing the 4th grade test, and Spence is passing calculus. That was amazing analogy. See, only Eagles Army can hit y'all with these analogies like this. That's a great way to put it into perspective. That's a great way to put it in perspective, bro. Like, it's not the same test. You're not taking the same test, bro. It's that simple. And listen, to be honest, Crawford got in the pass because we all love Crawford. That's what it is. Because we all see from the eye test Crawford is a beast. So we just accepted the political landscape of boxing and stuff like that. But he's forced our hand with the statements that he's making. I'm the A side. I need 60-40. He gets 40. Now you're doing too much. You could have just been, you could have just been getting what you're getting, and people wouldn't have stressed it. But when you start, saying you the A side and you got to be the number 1 welterweight. Listen, Crawford just said it Instagram Live. This is crazy, bro. He just said he's the number 1 welterweight. Based on what? You've not fought a Berto, Jose C. Like, even guys that people think you might beat. You haven't fought them, though. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, you haven't fought those guys at welterweight. How can you be the best? You can feel you're the best, but you haven't fought them to show us you the best. Okay, so let's say I'm going to do the 40-yard dash, and I just say I'm the best, but I haven't raced against Usain Bolt. It doesn't make sense. So because I'm telling you I'm the best. But then Usain Bolt said he's faster than me, but I won't race him. I won't race against Usain Bolt, but I'm just saying, hey, I'm faster than him. I'll smoke anybody. You're going to need to see that. Even if I could beat Usain Bolt, you know what I'm saying? You still would have to see it. You can't. How you just put your flag in the ground? I'm the best. It's not how it works, bro. You're saying you're the best, but Errol Spence is fighting the best. Or who we perceive to be the best. Danny Garcia cooked Adrian Granados. Mean Machine has never beaten somebody that I respect like a Granados like that. Danny Garcia, even at 140, since Crawford bring up his past accomplishments, Lucas Matisse, Amir Khan, these are better wins. Zab Judah, these are Eric Morales. These are better wins than Mean Machine has ever had in his whole life. Danny cooked Eric Morales. Eric Morales is a Hall of Famer. Mean Machine has never fought a Hall of Famer except for Crawford. So leading up to the fight, he went into the fight. He ain't never fought no Hall of Famer. Keith Thurman fought a Hall of Famer. He just fought Pacquiao. That's not a Hall of Famer. I don't know about that 135 tweet. I guess he was joking, but it was just weird, off timing. I don't know, man. Anyway, I'm about to get out of here. Appreciate y'all. More content coming tomorrow. Should be interesting. Appreciate y'all. Smash the like button. I got more to say, but I'm starting to get tired, so I'm about to go chill out, watch some Netflix. Yeah. I'll catch y'all tomorrow. Peace out. The Vampire Stream.